This is Ralph with 13 Peppers, and in today's video I'm going to show you how I moved my pepper pots from this and turned it into this. All of my potted plants needed to move off my wooden porch there, and I decided to go ahead and move it to the side of my shed here. The reason being is I know if I let the pot set too long, it would look just like this, and this is what I did not want to happen, and now I got to clean up. This process at this point was actually rather simple. I decided to go ahead, because I had grass there, and I sprayed a weed and grass killer all the way around because I did not need that anymore. Then I decided to go ahead and, because there was a few holes in the ground and uneven, to fill in the holes where it's needed. So that way when I lay my fabric and everything down, I didn't have any issues or anything that's going to play havoc when I start filling the mulch and putting the pepper pots down. The next step was just to go ahead and lay down landscape fabric. Now I do buy this in bulk, and the rolls I get are roughly 4 foot by, I do believe, 200 or 250 foot. So I go through quite a lot of it because I try not to have to deal with weeds and pulling them out of all the beds and everything I do. I also went ahead and doubled it up instead of a single layer. That way I knew I didn't have any issues. I have a lot of rocks and everything from around the yard and stuff I've collected from the years, and went ahead and just secured it down as I was putting it. Then I went through, and with all the rocks I decided to go ahead and just start laying them down around the entire perimeter, so to make a decorative type bed. I don't really mortar them together because it's just unneeded. I've had multiple beds like this, and I'm not rough on them, so I don't have to worry about anything moving as I put them down. Now at this point, I went ahead and laid down the mulch, and this year I decided to buy bag mulch instead. The big reason is just time, labor, and cost. Normally I pick it up by the scoop, just have it dumped in the truck and then spread it around the yard. But this year, the big box store that I have had a killer sale going on, and honestly, I could not beat it, and it ended up being cheaper than what it would with the actual just picking it up in bulk. Now here is the fun part where I finally get to move the pots over into the new bed. Now besides just having them there on my wooden porch, I also have some in the driveway. I have others on the side of the house. I have others by the greenhouse on the other side of the yard. This way it just made it a little bit nicer. I'm putting everything together and into one place. Now with everything done and moved over, I am actually pretty happy with the way it's turned out so far. Now here is the bad thing. As I'm looking at this bed here, I am looking around where the rest of my porch is in front of the shed, and I'm going, you know what? I've already started this, so let's go ahead and finish it off. Now I know this part really does not have anything to do with peppers, but if you're doing a garden and you have pepper pots, and this actually might be helpful. I started to go around on my porch that carries the awnings that I removed the pots from, and decided I wanted to go ahead and do trellises and morning glories going up and down through there. So I went online and started looking at trellises to install, and yeah, I have not bought a trellis in forever, and I did not realize the cost or anything on them. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead, spend time, and make my own. Because the trellises that I wanted, that I liked, even the basic simple, they're $45, $50 a piece. And I'm like, nope, that's going to be a little bit more than what I want to do. So I went ahead and headed to the big box stores, and there I found 1x6x6 weather treated boards. They were only $5.80 a piece, and I went ahead and picked up 6 of them, knowing that I can make one trellis out of each board. So I'd spend less for 6 of them than I would be just going out and buying one by itself. So now the thickness on a 1-inch board actually is 0.75 inches. So I went ahead and decided to cut the width of each strip at the same amount, so they would end up being square, and out of each board I was able to get 6 strips. Now that I had those all cut, I had to figure out exactly how I was going to go ahead and set this up, because I wanted to make everyone identical. So I decided to go ahead and make a rough template, and to do that I went ahead and I picked up some scrap pieces of wood I had, set everything out, and then I put screws into where the wood was supposed to actually set and be spaced completely apart. That way I can go ahead and set them up each and every time, and I would have the same spacing on every one of the boards. As you can see with the basic templates that I made there with the screw markings, it actually holds the wood at the proper spacing. Unfortunately, at this particular time in the heat of the day, the fresh boards I cut already started warping and everything on me. I decided to hold down the warping boards with another 1x6 that I picked up for a different project, and this way also I can mark what I want to do with the 1x6 on where I want to put my cross members on there, and then I can measure them out and mark them, and that way when I do the next cross bars on the next one, I know exactly where they go, and all 6 of them will be identical. Last prep I needed to do was to actually cut my cross pieces at my miter station. Now at this point I went ahead, started my assembly process where I put down some Type-On 3 glue, lined up exactly where I wanted to go, and I went ahead and nailed everything together. That way it will not separate and be nice and secure. And then with the markings, all I have to do now is rinse and repeat, and all 6 of them will look identical. Unfortunately, I do not have any video of me installing the trellises. I forgot to hit the record button, but what I did is I wanted them set just a little bit off of the 4x4s going up, so I created 2-inch spacers using a scrap piece of 2x3 board that I had, and went ahead and put one at the top and bottom, and then attached my trellises too. The bed that's actually going around, I went ahead and did the same method I did for the side of the shed, and instead of making it 4 foot wide, just went ahead and made it 2 and just folded it on top of itself, and laid the fabric and everything down. The pots that I have around are just 5-gallon pots, and I went ahead and put in morning glories so they can actually start growing and going up the trellis there. With the porch scrubbed and the morning glories planted, this project is finally complete. With that, I want to say thank you very much, especially each and every one of you that stayed through this entire program. It is actually something that's really nice, and also I want to thank everybody who comments on my videos, because you guys are an excellent bunch of people and I enjoy it very much, so thank you. Also, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. It does help me out very much. Hit that like button because the YouTube algorithms love that really well. Also, if you want to follow me, I'm on Facebook and Instagram at 13 Peppers by Ralph. You can also go to my website, which is 13peppersbyralph.com, and there I post all my videos and also sell seeds out of my gardens from all the pepper varieties I grow. With that, I want to say thank you all very much, and you guys all have a very good day.